5 effective ways to create your wedding guest list. Hey there, brides on a journey. Welcome back to the Wedding Love Journey, your wedding channel. So, let's dive right in. Let us talk about one of the most crucial aspects of wedding planning, creating your wedding guest list. Whether you're a bride-to-be, a groom-to-be, or someone who loves all things weddings, this video is for you. We've gathered 5 effective ways to help you navigate through the process of creating your wedding guest list. Start with the basics. The first step in creating your wedding guest list is to start with the basics. Begin by listing all the people who are essential to invite, such as close family members and immediate relatives. These are the people you absolutely can't imagine celebrating your big day without. Remember to consider both sides of the family and keep in mind any cultural or traditional obligations. Take into account your parents' and your partner's parents' expectations regarding the inclusion of extended family members. In some cultures, it is customary to invite a wide range of relatives, while in others, the focus may be on a more intimate gathering. By acknowledging these cultural and traditional obligations, you can ensure that your wedding guest list reflects and respects the customs and values that are important to you and your families. This may involve including distant relatives or close family friends who hold significant cultural or traditional roles in your lives. But of course, consider that this is your wedding day. They are your wedding guests, and not the guests of your mother-in-law, nor your mother's closest friend. Define your wedding size and budget. Once you have your core list of essential guests, it's time to define the size and budget for your wedding. Determine how many guests you can comfortably accommodate within your desired venue and set a realistic budget for the overall event. Consider the capacity of your venue and how many guests it can comfortably accommodate. Some venues have a maximum guest limit, while others may offer flexibility based on different seating arrangements. It's important to strike a balance between inviting the people you truly want to share your special day with and ensuring that everyone has a comfortable experience. In addition to the size, setting a realistic budget for your wedding is crucial. Your budget will influence many aspects of your wedding planning, including the number of guests you can invite. Take into account expenses such as venue rental, catering, decorations, and other essential services. By setting a clear budget, you'll have a better understanding of how many guests you can accommodate within your financial means. It's important to remember that quality and meaningful connections with your guests matter more than the quantity. Focus on creating an intimate and memorable experience for everyone involved. Prioritize your closest friends. Now that you have the essentials covered and know your wedding size, it's time to prioritize your closest friends. These are the people who have been a significant part of your life and have shared memorable moments with you. Choosing which friends to invite can be a challenging task, especially if you have a limited guest count. One helpful approach is to consider the friends who have been there for you through thick and thin. Think about those who have supported you, celebrated your successes, and stood by you during challenging times. While it's natural to want to invite all your friends, it's important to be realistic and understand that you might not be able to invite everyone. If you're working with a limited guest count, you'll need to make some tough decisions. One way to narrow down your list is by evaluating the strength of your current connection with each friend. Ask yourself questions like, have we been in regular contact over the past few years? Or, have we shared significant experiences or milestones recently? Consider the friends who have remained an active part of your life, those you regularly communicate with, and those with whom you've had recent meaningful interactions. Remember, the goal is to create an intimate and meaningful celebration with your closest friends. By prioritizing those who have maintained a strong connection with you, you can ensure that your wedding day is filled with the people who truly matter to you. Consider family and cultural expectations. Family and cultural expectations can play a significant role when it comes to your wedding guest list. It's essential to have open and honest conversations with your families about their expectations and any traditions that need to be considered. By understanding and respecting these expectations, you can find a balance between honoring your family's wishes and creating a guest list that represents you as a couple. Create a secondary list and finalize. Lastly, it's time to create a secondary list. This list will include those guests who you would love to invite but couldn't accommodate within your initial guest count. As you receive RSVPs and declines, you can start inviting guests from your secondary list to fill any remaining spots. This way, you ensure that your guest count is in line with your venue capacity and budget. Creating a secondary list allows you to include additional guests who are important to you but couldn't be accommodated due to venue capacity or budget constraints. These could be friends, extended family members, or colleagues who didn't make it to your primary list. As you start receiving RSVPs and declines from your primary list, you can begin inviting guests from your secondary list to fill any remaining spots that become available. This way, you ensure that your guest count remains in line with your venue capacity and budget. It's important to approach the secondary list with sensitivity and prioritize the relationships that hold a special place in your heart. As you send out invitations, make sure to communicate clearly with your secondary list guests that their invitation is contingent upon space becoming available. By managing your guest list in this way, you can maximize the number of meaningful connections you include while still adhering to your logistical limitations. Remember, the most important aspect is to celebrate your special day with the people who are closest to you. Creating your wedding guest list can be a challenging task, but by following these 5 effective ways, you'll have a solid foundation to work with. Remember, it's ultimately about celebrating your special day with the people who mean the most to you. Check out this wedding planner. This can help in creating wedding guest list. You can check this out in link below. To summarize: 1. Create list of people. 2. Define wedding size and budget. 3. Prioritize closest friends and family. 4. Consider family expectations. 5. Create secondary list. I also leave wedding budgeting tools you can use in below link. We would love to hear what are your biggest pain points creating guest lists. Comment your thoughts below. Don't forget to subscribe to Wedding Love Journey.